Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Adrien, and welcome back to another Dungeons & Dragons character conversion. That's right, we are doing Adrien Agreste for a second time. And it's because I messed up when making his character build. I took into account the Miraculous, which I probably should not have. I forgot one important thing that I did in fact mention in that video. Adrien is Noir. They are the same person. Adrien just keeps his true personality hidden underneath the mask of Adrien Agreste. And I forgot to take into account everything that Adrien has done as Noir, how he has acted, how he takes certain situations, how he fights. I even forgot to take into account Adrien himself when building that character. I only did a few things that were Adrien Agreste, and then I just went on to try to make a Miraculous holder, which I should not have done. So for this build, we are going to only take into account Adrien Agreste as a character. We are not going to even touch upon the Miraculous of the Black Cat. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get things started. We're going to use the standard array for Adrien for this build, because I feel that it's a little bit better than trying to make the absolute most perfect character possible. Adrien is human, so he's going to have some flaws. We'll get into that part here in a moment. So let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. For strength, I think a 12 would be the best fit. Dexterity would be his highest stat out of 15. Constitution at a 10. He can take a hit, but he does get hurt every now and again. More often than viewers will want to admit. Again, more on that here in a moment. Intelligence is a 13. He is a very smart kid. Even though he doesn't perceive certain things, so that's why we have wisdom at an 8. And charisma, he is a model, and he is the son of the Agreste family, so it makes sense for him to have a very high charisma score. Now, there is a theory going around about Adrien's connection to the Peacock Miraculous. That he is a senti-monster. I have went into full detail over on Twitter, Adrien_YT in case you're interested, on how this theory is false. And I went into excruciating detail about how a holder of the Peacock Miraculous would be able to know that Adrien is a senti-monster just by being around him. Adrien is clearly human. Senti-monsters, as established in the episode Feast, do not have the same anatomy as a human. So they do not have the need for nutrition. So, Adrien, who eats, is shown to become hungry, is human. Not only that, but Adrien has felt emotion. Senti-monsters only feel emotion when they are either A, about to succeed in their mission, or B, are about to fail their mission. Adrien has felt pain. If you recall, he did twist his ankle in the episode Riposte. And there have been other occasions where Adrien has been hurt. He even took a cataclysm to the chest. Adrien knows what pain is. Sentient monsters only feel pain when A, are instructed to express pain, or B, when their amok is being taken out of the item by the Peacock Miraculous holder. We have seen this on 2 different occasions. In the episode Feast, when Mayura threatens to take the amok out of the sentient monster's item. And B, in the episode known as Ladybug, where the Sentibug does get her amok taken away, and she even cries out in pain right before she disappears. Those are the only 2 instances where a sentient monster has felt pain when the amok is involved. Adrien expresses pain, expresses emotions, like a normal human. I will not repeat this. I'm not going to do the same thing I did with the Percy Jackson build. That's the only time I'm going to say it. Human. If you want me to go into detail on the Peacock Miraculous secret sentient monster, leave a comment down below. I will make sure to do so. Anyway, the race we're using is human. We're going to use the variant human for this build. This will give us a +1 to 2 different stats. Dexterity and intelligence are going to be the ones we choose for today, increasing our dexterity to a 16 and to 14 on intelligence. We get a speed of 30 feet. We get 1 skill of our choice. We're going to go with perception. And for our feat, we're going to grab defensive duelist. Adrien is a fencer after all, and defensive duelist does represent the fencing fighting style pretty well, in my opinion, as well as being able to represent Chat Noir's fighting style when he is, well, fighting as Chat Noir. Moving on to the background. We're using the Faceless background because of who Adrien is. Adrien is normally just a model, and he expresses as such. But when he puts on the mask of Chat Noir, he is an average, witty teenager. And that is the thing I forgot in the last build. I forgot this very thing. His attitude completely changes. His personality changes when he becomes Chat Noir. He is free from the chains of the Agreste name when he puts on that mask. And that is the Faceless persona. You get the feature dual personalities, which is what is expressed with Chat Noir and Adrien. Sometimes Adrien does let Chat Noir shine through when he feels safe to do so. Proficiencies with the Faceless background are Deception and Intimidation. However, I think that Persuasion would be a better option for Chat Noir, aka Adrien. You get Disguise Tools as a proficiency. You are a model, so being able to put on makeup, learning from your makeup artists, would probably be a good skill to have. You also get 1 language of choice as well. Now, let's go ahead and move on to classes. And I think we should start out with the Rogue. This is because of the amount of skills that we are able to get from our proficiencies. Adrien is very talented. so starting off as a rogue makes a lot of sense. You get a d8 hit die with the starting hit points of 8 plus your constitution modifier. Since it's a 0, you only get a total of 8 hit points, which I mean, it's pretty easy to get hurt when you are Adrien. Trying to run around and get hit by Akuma, or even just trying to run away from lovesick fans. You get proficiencies in light armor, simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. You also get proficiency in thieves' tools, as well as 4 skills of your choice. I would recommend athletics, acrobatics, performance, and stealth. Performance because, again, he's a model, he knows how to play the piano, and also he has acted in a movie. Saving throws, dexterity, and intelligence would make the most sense, because that's what's given to us by the rogue, and of course, we actually see this demonstrated a lot in the show, so it kind of makes sense. For expertise, I think performance and persuasion are going to be your best bet. You also get the features Sneak Attack and Thieves cards for being a rogue. Level 2 rogues get Cunning Action, allowing you to take a bonus action for dodging or whatever. Moving on to level 3, we're going to go with the roguish archetype known as the Swashbuckler. This gives us a lot of different features that Adrien would be perfect with. Fancy footwork and rockish audacity. We also get the feature Steady Aim, just for being a level 3 rogue. And we also get another feature at 9th level, which I will get to once that time comes, but it fits Adrien and Chat Noir to a T. Moving on to level 4, we get an ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your wisdom by 2. Adrien does in fact learn how to spot things a little bit better, to tell when someone is not being truthful or if something is being hidden. He learns this mostly from the time Ladybug called out Lila for her lies, but he also sees similar things from Marinette and even his own father. And just from being Chat Noir fighting Akuma. He has to be able to tell what is going on in the Akuma's personal life. Speaking of improving on oneself, Adrien does in fact know how to fight a little bit better as the years go on fighting all these Akuma. So it would make sense to have the fighter class as a multi-class option, getting extra proficiencies in medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. For your fighter's fighting style, I would suggest the Mariner, mostly for the swimming speed equal to your walking speed, as well as a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, but also the second wind feature, being able to heal yourself a little bit, but not by much. Second level fighters get an action surge. We get to be able to attack a lot more often now. And third level, we're going to go with the martial archetype Battlemaster. We get combat superiority, giving us the maneuvers Goading Attack, Parry, and Riposte. I don't think I need to remind you that Adrien is in fact a fencer, but also he is Chat Noir. Goading his opponents is kind of his thing. Your maneuver save DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity modifier. You also get tool proficiencies in Smith's tools. Moving on to level 4 fighter, we're going to grab a feat instead of an ability score improvement. Go ahead and grab the athlete feat. This will allow us to stand back up after being knocked down with only the cost of 5 movement, instead of half of our movement normally. But we also get a few extra features that I think would be perfect for Chat Noir, aka Adrien. Moving on to level 5 Rogue, we get the Uncanny Dodge feature, allowing us to lower the damage we take from attacks. Level 5 Fighter gives us extra attack. Now each attack action allows us to attack twice. Moving on to level 6 Rogue, we get more expertise. Athletics and acrobatics will work just fine. Moving on to level 7 Rogue, we get evasion. Now we are able to dodge things a whole lot better. Like, say, a hailstorm, maybe a meteor, maybe some rockets. You know, something that might need to be dodged. Moving on to level 8 Rogue, we get an ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your strength by 2 points, making it a lot easier for you to jump certain distances. Level 6 fighters get an ability score improvement as well. Go ahead and increase your dexterity to an 18, making you a little bit more nimble. You know, like Adrien. Level 7 Fighter gets 2 new maneuvers, Distracting Strike and Lunging Attack, as well as the feature Know Your Enemy. We're going with Distracting Strike more as another Chat Noir feature. Again, he likes to distract enemies, making them attack him more so that Ladybug can do her thing. We also chose Lunging Attack because, well, a lunge is a maneuver for fences, being able to strike out a few more feet, much like the lunging attack. Moving on to level 9 Rogue, we get Panache. I think I pronounced this wrong in the past, but it's pronounced Panache. And this is the feature that really hits home that Adrien is Chat Noir, being able to use his guile in order to, well, affect an opponent. And it works. That's why I wanted to go with the Swashbuckler Rogue, because it just fitted so well. Moving on to level 10 Rogue, we get an ability score improvement. Go ahead and increase your charisma by 2 points, making it a 16. At level 8 Fighter, we get a feat, Charger. Adrien just loves charging into battle without thinking, even when he knows that it's going to get himself hurt, which happens a lot. You know, pain. Charger lets us, when we take the dash action, use a bonus action to make an attack, which increases in damage by 5, which is pretty good. Or we can forego the extra damage to push the target, I think it was 15 feet? I think it was. Anyway, it's still a very good feat to have, especially for Adrien. Moving on to level 11 Rogue, we get Reliable Talent. Now we cannot low roller than a 9 on certain skill checks. And finally, level 12, being able to fight so many supervillains as Chat Noir in order to distract them, make them lose concentration, makes him quite the Mage Slayer. You know, the feat Mage Slayer. Makes it a lot harder for his foes to concentrate on their abilities. And that is how Adrien operates, how Chat Noir operates. So it makes sense for him to have the feat Mage Slayer. And with that, that is the end of this video. I hope you did enjoy this reloaded build for Adrien Agreste. With that being said, this has been Adrien, and I am offline.